pushing the boundaries of expectations, and rewriting the rules of adventure are the reasons we get up in the morning. This is a way of life, a huge and growing community of explorers and adventurers, leading the way, blazing new trails, and raising the bar. We share your hunger for a life without limits, and we know you'll stop at nothing to get there.
Greetings and welcome back, co-creators. I'm Stephen Kenyon. So glad you could join us for one more adventure of attracting our abundant lives. Email address is kineticbelief@stephenkenyon.com. stephenkenyon.com is the website. While visiting, if you'd like, you can sign up to receive updates and email letters from me. Also, you can now join the private Facebook group for interacting with other Kinetic Believers, of which I am so excited, Miss Maggie. And then, look, I've also got to say that I have thoroughly been enjoying sending out KB text messages occasionally. And, I only do it when I feel strongly that I need to share a thought with everybody. And, I'm trying to be nice with that. I can, but
you could be like the cable guy.
Right?
It would be so easy to be like that.
If you'd like to receive those occasional text messages from me to you, simply text the word kinetic, and that's KINETIC, to 31996, which still I can only say that it's available in the U.S. for now. Miss Maggie, how are you?
I'm wonderful. And something that's really cool about the texting that you do is people can text back. Isn't that neat? It's not just one way.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that cool?
And it does go both ways, so I do have to be nice. And by the way, I have enjoyed taking longer walks with you, I have to say.
Oh, my goodness.
And I guess it's since you've really made a point of pointing out how many steps we take.
Well, it's kind of funny. I didn't even realize that my iPhone was tracking my steps. And then I opened it up. But
you're like, Steve, we took 10,000 steps today.
That's pretty cool.
Are you serious?
You usually have to really try to do that. And now that we're in the city for the time being, walking is how we get around.
Quick question for you.
Okay.
And I'm going back to probably when we were kids.
Okay.
What is the best, or maybe should I say, what is the worst practical joke that you've ever played on somebody else?
Oh, what a good question. Well, I don't know if I want to fess up to it.
Oh, come on. Maybe. Well,
Mom, turn off the podcast if you're listening.
It wasn't to your mom, was it?
No, but my mom wouldn't have known about it. So it was to my older sister. My older sister is 2 weeks, and 2 days older than me. And
that's pretty specific.
Well, so it's 222. It's kind of weird.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so, well, I feel bad just telling the story. Okay, so
now if this is the one I've heard before, you can't feel bad about this. This is kind of cute.
Well, in the moment though, I did feel bad, and I it kind of recurs when I remember it. But I hid under her bed, and I was just gonna sort of jump out and be silly, but then she came into her room and then left really quickly. So I'm just sort of stuck under her bed. Do I get out? Do I leave? Do I stay? So she's gone for the longest time, and I'm just under there, like not knowing what to do. And I'm probably 5 years old, 6 years old at this point. And anyway, she walks in, and I don't even remember thinking about it. It was just sort of instinct, and her legs were there, and I just reached out from under her bed and grabbed her.
No, you didn't.
Her ankle.
That's terrible.
She screamed like she was being killed. No, I mean, it was really bad.
I'll bet she got you back, though.
Oh, well, she immediately started screaming, Mom, Mom. So
that's hilarious.
I was like, oh, no, I'm dead. Gosh, but I have to say it was pretty funny.
You should be just totally embarrassed.
It was really funny.
That's funny. Kinetic belief, and this is why we do this podcast as often as we can get around to it. Kinetic belief is such a huge topic. And yes, there's nothing more satisfying than becoming proficient at viewing our personal life and the world around us through the lens of our subjective reality. What we choose to believe, what we know is true beyond what we can see, in other words. And because learning to do this with kinetic belief, what it does is it rearranges the life that we are literally experiencing. And to help others move quickly into abundant living, I have created a brand new, now available 21-day e-course, and it's called Attracting My Abundant Life. It is a new mini e-course, and what it's designed to do is to help you manifest and attract wealth and prosperity. Attracting My Abundant Life, it includes, what I've done is I've included all of my favorite ways to manifest anything that I wanted, and I've done it with easy, clear, and to the point affirmations. And what I've done is also use the same format included in this mini e-course in order to manifest a windfall of literally hundreds and even thousands of dollars in my life, and free gifts, huge discounts, and tons of favor. In fact, I use the Attracting My Abundant Life affirmations and other things to meet people and receive what to me were dream job offers. In fact, Meg, when I was using this same format when I was 23 years old, and within a couple of weeks, I was offered a television job anchoring the 6 o'clock news. And you know what's really funny about that is I didn't have any experience doing television news.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Well, it was at the time.
What an opportunity.
And, I'm like, I got the job. I got the job. Oh no.
Oh no, I got
what
the
do
job.
I do? Somebody help me. But no, seriously, I have used the same format to receive signs from my higher self for direction and for knowing what to do and when to do it. And I've used the method and the mini course to be able to attract or create business opportunities, and those that have made me a self-made entrepreneur for the last 40 years, with the ability to stay at home or travel and work from anywhere. And it includes basic teachings and information on manifesting abundance and wealth and financial windfalls. It also includes ways that you can help to be embodied with a prosperous mindset, attracting those new opportunities, money, abundance, wealth, windfalls, and gifts. So for 21 days, for each day, you'll be able to write and to focus on and speak and claim and begin attracting whatever it is that you have been dreaming of. And for those of you that get the Attracting My Abundant Life ebook, or simply just to give it to someone you love for Christmas, I hope you enjoy it as much as Meg and I did creating the Abundant Life book. And it's a downloadable mini e-course just for you. It's now available. I am so excited about it, Meg, and good job also helping to put it all together.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. And I love the topic of abundance, and that you already took us, just as you were describing the e-course, you already took us through this concept that, okay, let's talk about wealth. Now, hang on a second. It's not necessarily a suitcase of money that falls onto your front step. It could be all of these opportunities. It could be discounts, gifts, you name it. It can come from the most expected and unexpected places.
The best parking spot.
Yeah.
It works in so many different ways.
But it leads
the
you.
The very thing that's worked for me in my life, this is now available. It's on the website.
Oh, cool.
So you can check it out.
Live
and
now.
so let's prepare ourselves to begin gaining some knowledge on 4 steps to winning. And right now, just take a deep breath, a cleansing breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel at peace in this present moment and begin to support be mindful to support the growing worldwide effort and the deliberate purpose of creating peace on this planet. Do it for yourself and think about doing it for others, as well as for future generations. And this is a position of attitude that I want to ask you just to accept right now, that you have a part to play in the world's unfolding evolution, and that this is part of your legacy. So let's begin by developing that sense of presence. Again, a deep breath in and exhale. I want you to focus on to something that's far away. Inhale. Focus on to something close to you and exhale. Pay attention to your breath, and again, focus at something far away and inhale. Focus on something close, exhale. Be present in this moment. Notice what you see, not with words, Allow it just to be a form in the room with you. Now notice the sounds that you hear. Allow those sounds just to be and to pass through. Intensify your presence. This is the moment that something memorable is going to happen to you. Open up to receive and increase your awareness of the importance of this moment. Nothing else going on in your mind. Release every tension. Keep your frame, especially your spine, upright. Stay in this moment. Imagine there's a thread that's holding you up. Not an act of your willpower. It's life energy. It's in your body. It's holding you up. Feel the presence of your life energy in this moment. Life energy feels good. It's personal to you, and it's the substance of joy. Deep breath in. As you let it out. Deep breath in. And let it out. Let's receive some knowledge, gain some understanding concerning 4 steps to winning. You know, every 4 years, the World Cup, which is actually the most prestigious soccer competition in the world, it hosts, I believe it's about 32 national teams it's a month-long tournament, which then culminates into this huge final battle between 2 teams that's going to determine who's going to have total and complete victory. And it's that much anticipated final moment of the game that crowns the new winner, sparking this passionate conversation all over the world about, the final game and who did what and what the final score was. And as those cameras, though, as they pan from the cheering crowd over to the celebrating members of the winning team, one thing is often, it goes unnoticed by the millions of viewers, and that is the playbook, usually in the hands of the winning coach. Mm-hmm. And it may seem that victories are won or lost due solely to a star player's special skills or, the lack of talent on the other team. But the truth is, a triumph of this magnitude on the world stage is the result of long hours of training and long hours of practice. And there's a set of all these special strategies that are outlined in the team playbook. Now, maybe you enjoy watching all those teams put their strategies to work for a win. But when you turn off the television, there's an even greater battle for victory that's happening in our own personal lives. It's fun to watch a team win, especially if it's a team that you're pulling for. But what about our own need for a victory in our health, a victory in our finances, or in our family circumstances? Well, the good news is that we don't have to wait 4 years for one great and final triumph. As a kinetic believer, we can assume victory right now today, right now, and our victory will always be defined by the objective reality of our personal choices. Do you know what I mean when I say the special playbook with the secret strategies of the winning team?
It's the one they're always covering their mouth with.
So you can't see what they're mouthing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you can see
That's
my
funny,
playbook,
isn't it?
but you can't see what I'm saying.
That's funny.
Well, in American football, teams have scouts that will help prepare those, as you say, secret strategies that go into the playbook just for playing against that specific team for that day.
Yeah, well, and we also have been given a special playbook with the secret strategies for winning. All of us have. Mm. Every single person has their own personalized secret strategies for winning. We came into the natural possessing all of the DNA, all of the information for the very reason of living an abundant, victorious life. And the life source for every good thing, for the expanding universe, for you, for advancing your mind and your body and soul, all of those things, the wisdom for these things, it already exists, and it is your victory playbook. Now, for you listeners, it's not by chance, and I want to tell you this, that you are spending time with myself and with Megan right now, with us discussing the success of your life and the success of attracting your desires and your dreams into reality. It is time to put the wisdom of life strategies to work in your life and to take the win that you've been promised by creation. And today, I just want to help put you in the position to receive your victory.
Well, and this is my favorite type of podcast, when we get into these really specific steps that are just easy to follow, because, so much of Kinetic Belief, it's like you're always telling us, it's holistic. It's a big picture way of changing our lives. So when we have steps that we can holistically do to position ourselves to receive things, that's pretty cool. Can you tell that I like being told, okay.
What to do?
Yes. Well, tell me exactly. If you want me to do something.
I've never seen that side of you.
If you want me to do something, you better tell me exactly, step by step.
Well, one of the most important things to remember is that once you've determined your mission within your soul, never ever refuse to give up. We achieve dynamic growth through the change of our beliefs. And the only way to win the battle against the pressure of not feeling adequate, for example, in our positive self-discovery, is to believe that we were created to possess our life's ambition, not just for ourselves, but, for the greater good of the collective. In every sporting event, those who take the prize at the end of the contest, those are the ones who refuse to give up the most. One team is going to be the most adamant about winning. And there have been Olympians who've competed with broken bones, and football players who played with painful, debilitating injuries, high school athletes who pushed past bullying and criticism and ridicule. And the difference is that we cannot attract the prize of possessing our genius of purpose if we are not even in the game of attracting our expectations. So, what do? Well, we get up each day with a plan to imagine improvement, to imagine advancement, to imagine stirring up the energetics of happiness and joy. Our race to run, that is one of the changing our perspectives so that we change our conscious state of being. We imagine to run, to win, in other words. All athletes are disciplined in their training, and they do it to win a game. But that will fade away. Kinetic believers are disciplined in our conscious awareness, and we do it for advancing our mind, body, and soul toward perfected completion, while attracting healing into our bodies, while attracting wisdom, attracting joy and happiness and loving relationships and all these things, and prosperity and abundance in every single area. The pursuit of all these things, that is what satisfies the quest for living. And as a way of being human, everyone runs and explores, asks questions, seeks answers. But those things are not enough. Just wishing for more, that's not enough. Everyone runs a race of some kind, whether they want to or not. We get up in the morning believing something. That's just how we were wired. That's the way we were created. We have the substance of belief, the substance of pursuit, the substance of a quest that we come into the natural with. But the key to creative control and the key to abundance is to get up each morning believing to be the avatar of our destiny and running our creative race to win.
Isn't that it? We keep running our personal creative race, in order to win the prize. And I feel like it's really important, how you said, once I've determined the mission within my soul, refuse to give up. It's that level of commitment that we're achieving.
Commitment. Isn't that it? It's commitment. A couple of years ago, more than a million viewers were watching this boxing match, and especially after the fact when it actually streamed. But they watched the boxer who was the first to ever give up and quit fighting in the ring. Wow. I mean, this had never been heard of before. Without explanation, the bell rang for the first round to begin, and he turned and he stepped through the ropes and walked away. Walked down the long ramp, and you could see one woman. She's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" He didn't answer.
Was it his wife?
It may have been.
You get your butt back in that ring.
She was pretty demanding.
Yeah.
But from that day on, no matter what he did, he is only now remembered as the one boxer who gave up. He forfeited his chance for victory because he refused to stay in the ring. He refused, and he caved in and he quit.
That's a really funny story. The visual of just a boxer just going, "Nope, I'm okay."
Well, I think the visual of the wife going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Is even. But
right.
Actually, she did, and when he explained it to her later, she said she did understand. But that's a whole nother story. Each one of us was created to be overcomers.
Yes.
All of us were created to be victorious in this life, to not believe in failure, but to construct our subjective beliefs according to our desires as creative creators. You and I, we found a new app yesterday. That is so cool.
It's so cool.
And it's called Picture This.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you everything that there is to know about a plant.
Which you wouldn't think is that big of a deal, but then you find yourself going on a hike and you're just wondering, what something is. I mean, and to be able to take a picture of that, it's just amazing.
Curiosity will do that, won't it? If we only knew what this little purple, blue, white flower
it's just neat.
is.
Yeah.
Well, just like plants, when we know how to take care of them, they flourish. That app called Picture It, if you hold the phone, your iPhone or whatever phone, I guess, over a tree, a plant, a leaf, it'll tell you what kind it is, how to take care of it, where it lives, the kind of climate it lives in, the roots, everything about it, the science behind it, whatever's known about it. You can even hold that. You can hold your phone over a tree that's been cut down, and it will count the rings immediately and tell you how old
that's wild.
that tree was.
I want to take a picture of like a sequoia and see what it tells me how to take care of it.
Probably tell you what time the park closes.
Right. Should I water
so
it?
Thorough. It was really cool.
Neat.
But the point is that, that app's telling you how, if you have a house plant, how to take care of it so that it will flourish. Well, when we believe the correct formula for our own personal genius of purpose, we too grow and prosper. And if we don't grow and prosper, if we don't attract abundance, if we don't advance to become more as human beings, just like a plant, if we don't do those things, we fail, we wither away. Nothing stays the same, you see. So when we understand how we have authoritative dominion as human beings, and we have creative rights as a creative creator, created in the image of the creator of the universe, that first imagination, that imagined with the substance of belief all things into existence. It doesn't matter what we are going through, the ability to change our circumstances is immediately, right now, within our control. Overwhelming positive change is available to all of us, and it's through the formulative power of unconditional love operating in kinetic belief. Overwhelming positive change, I'm telling you, that's worth getting up every morning for, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You want to get up for some overwhelming positive change and a cup of coffee?
With a side of,
Just say out loud right now, say, I will not be defeated.
I will not be defeated.
By wrong beliefs.
In
this life.
And
I will not quit. If you've ever watched American football on television or live, whatever, one thing that you will never see is a lineman running away from another player. No, I mean professional, maybe in high school or something.
Probably not in real life either. Like they're
That's just not supposed to happen. That lineman's entire job is to face the giants that are rushing toward him from the opposing team. Gosh. And he is there for one thing, and that is to stand his ground. That's his job. Yeah. That's what he's coached into doing. He lifts weights, he trains, he practices to stand his ground, to not be moved.
Right.
And when he does that, well, the fans jump and they cheer in the stands and everybody gets all excited. Why are they so excited? It's because innately they know that that's what each one of us were also created to do in life. They see someone being successful at what they too know they should be doing, and that is standing their ground and maintaining their position. It's part of the nature of our awareness that we were given. And we have all of these instinctive strategies to be able to stand against destructive judgments, stand against border bullies, stand against sickness, stand against disease and poverty and all these things, and to not give in to the manipulative dominion of other people. But, we have to follow our subjective strategies. We have to follow the playbook that we're talking about of our journaled expectations. And if you don't have one, start a manifestation journal right now today and start rewriting your beliefs. Choose your beliefs. And then just refuse to alter your desires in any way at all. Don't give in or cave in. Don't allow somebody to come in there and rewrite your beliefs. Imagine handing your journal to somebody and say, would you please fill out day 21 for me?
I love that visual that you've given us of the lineman, just holding the line, because if you have seen American football, it's a strong visual of what they're achieving out there.
It totally is. But, you have to stand your ground. You've got to be defiant.
Yeah.
You have to be defiant to any encroaching enemy, anyone that would seek to move you off of what you are determined to stand there for.
Well, and I love the concept, too, that you've set up for us here that's based in them training for it, that this is their focus, this is their goal, this is what they believe is their job today.
Exactly, training for it, and that's what a kinetic believer does. This becomes a way of life for those that are determined to become successful and stand your ground for what you're believing for, no matter what. Because it's the defiant expectations of destructive, negative energy that actually wants any human that will listen, that will pay attention to its size, like it's some enemy coming at you to make you think it's bigger than you are, more able than you are, more capable than you are, to get you just to turn tail and run the other way every time that adversity shows itself into your life.
Right.
The thought form of failure knows that if it can get us over into fear, that it has us. Immersion into fear and away from the creative power of kinetic belief, it's just like trying to take on a bully when in your case, when your much larger bigger sister is right there beside of you to protect you.
I love that. And as you know from my confession earlier, I do have a big sister.
You do.
And you're right. More than once at school, she had my back and she would take up for me. And so I can just relate with this, because even though we were just kids, she seemed so much bigger than my problem at that time.
Well, it doesn't make for good belief. It makes for reasonings and sense to allow your bigger sister or your bigger brother or to be able to stand in there and to help you to stay in that place. And for success, we get out of reasoning and we get over into the presence of our chosen beliefs. And then our big brother or big sister of kinetic belief is much bigger than fear. And it's calling each of us to stand behind it, stand behind the power and authority of your kinetic belief, and let the creative authority of attraction begin to take care of you. But we got to get out of the trenches of fear. Well, how do we stand our ground when something starts pushing us around? How are we going to do this? It's by remaining steadfast to our articles of faith. And those are just our chosen beliefs that we've been journaling about. And then confidently and joyfully look to the manifestation of victory. Look for it. Expect it, just like we were talking about the other day. Expect it to show up just like you're expecting that package from Amazon. You've seen it on your phone. It's going to be at your door at 3 o'clock this afternoon, or it's on its way. And then there's the knock on the door where you were expecting it. You're not surprised. You're just excited. Look for your manifestation the same way. If you've been journaling it and you're expecting it and you're desiring it and you're seeing it and you're grateful for it, expect it just like you're expecting the knock on the door, somebody to show up with that package. The creator of this universe, which stood there before the beginning of time, imagining the very best version of you, it provided everything we will ever need through the creative authority that we've been given, that we were granted. And that is the confidence that we can have in standing our ground in a place we're determined to stand in forever. Change of course decisions, that is where we take our stand. And look, don't fall back into the trap of believing that you're somehow trapped by flamethrowers of someone else's fingers of guilt and their words of shame or their promises of adversity, or the person that shows up and says, well, Megan, you've broken my heart. I'm so disappointed in you. You just didn't amount to what I thought you were, whatever it is. Everybody knows those people.
Yes. Yeah. We've all had those experiences.
Well, as co-creative creators, look, we've been set free from the exploits of condemnation. And by becoming present in our expectations, whatever we continue to expect, that is what is going to manifest into our situation.
What a powerful phrase you just said, the exploits of condemnation, because isn't that exactly what condemnation is? It's someone trying to exploit you. They're trying to exploit your kindness and your awareness and your selflessness, and they're trying to do that by putting shame on you or guilt.
And we understand that it's actually not the person themselves that's doing it. They become a vessel for this as a conduit of these negative energetics that have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And if they have access to you, then that negative energy is going to attempt to find a place within you as a conduit. Mm-hmm. But if we don't receive it, it can't come.
Right. And it's important. That's a wonderful thing that you're teaching us right now, that it's not the person, and it's vital to remember that, because that's going to keep us in compassion and unconditional love and out of bitterness, and it helps you take that, what we all have heard of, the higher road, and it just sort of keeps you up in that higher plane of existence.
And the only way, Megan, that we can stay in this place of compassion and a higher sense of well-being and love and out of bitterness is to make a study of our manifesting journal, and we do it continually.
Yes.
It's like the lineman that trains to stand his ground.
Yeah.
We train by reviewing and writing in and imagining our manifesting journal as having come to pass in our lives. Mm-hmm. And we read it, and we meditate on it, and we meditate on our vision, our desire, day and night, so that we'll be sure to act upon each unction of wisdom that is attracted to our expectation. And we do this just like millions that came before us, that prospered and were successful in all that they did,
right,
using the same kinetic belief, power, and authority to do that.
I love that, seeing our journal like a playbook. That's exactly what it is, because when you need those final points and you're out of ideas, you need that reference point. You need that point to anchor you, the thing that you've already laid out ahead of time, because it's in the heat of the moment, the heat of the battle, that you don't want to be, fudging around trying to figure out what the heck you're doing. So it really anchors you in those moments, those, intense moments of life.
Yes, that anchoring, that's focus, isn't it?
Yes.
It's to be able to focus. Ask any successful athlete the key to their success. And one answer that is always given is focus.
Yeah.
Focus. To focus is to concentrate and to fix our eyes intently upon something without looking to the left or to the right. You focus on it. When I played baseball as a teenager, I had a coach that said, when watching the ball come toward the plate, when I was at bat, he said, imagine taking a couple of snapshots, pictures of the ball in flight as it's coming toward me. Well, what did he mean by that? He taught me to focus on the ball. Well, it worked. I mean, I could clearly see what I was missing when I swung the bat before I closed my eyes. But have you ever noticed that if you walk on a very narrow line without focusing on a single point, that you'll start to fall over?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sometimes we face challenging situations in our health, in our finances, or our family relationships, and it can feel like we're walking on an uneven and a narrow ground, a narrow line. And we might even feel like our footing isn't as solid as we'd like for it to be. And so we start to lose our balance. That's when we need to focus and concentrate our desires, our gratitude in one direction.
That's such a memorable analogy, too. I remember being on a boat one time, and I wasn't feeling very good. I was a little seasick out on this boat, and I just remember everyone just kept telling me, just like, pick a point on the horizon and just keep looking at it and keep looking at it. Don't look down at the water. Don't look around. Don't sit down. Just find that point on the horizon and focus on it. It's amazing how much it helped.
Yeah, well, the only focal point that will bring us back into alignment and out of double-mindedness, out of being seasick, out of whatever, is becoming intimate with our genius, not to be confused with the ego. If we focus our ears and our eyes on what the expectations of those around us are, well, we won't find anything solid to stand on, and we'll just remain unsteady. But when we put our complete focus on the subjective truth of who we are, that is solid ground that cannot be moved. And it's from that place that our best life is attracted to be able to manifest.
I believe that this is one of the biggest steps toward just unleashing our best lives so that they can be attracted to us. And that's really knowing who we are, like you're talking about. Yeah. Just the truth of who we are, because that puts us on solid ground. And by focusing on the truth of who we are, we can refuse to be moved away from loving ourselves while living our best lives.
That's key, isn't it?
Yes.
Refuse to be moved away from loving ourselves. Every problem that we face, every single struggle, every hardship, there is always an answer. But we must spend time getting to know how to interact with ourselves in love. Not disappointment, not anger, not depression or disgust, or with permission to quit. Wisdom is always attracted where there is an unwavering desire.
Well, and I have to say, it's something that keeps sticking out in this podcast today to me is we talk a lot about positively manifesting something, but you're talking also a lot about, refusing to believe the contradiction, refusing to adhere to and listen to and receive the negative source energy. And that's really dawning on me that, refusing those things, that's active as well. It's not just about the positive, speaking the right thing. It's also about refusing and standing against the negative, it seems.
And it's where we're giving our attention that determines if we're going to refuse something or not. Are you going to give your attention to the one that's trying to move you off the mark, or are you going to give your attention to what you're choosing to manifest in your life?
It's so active. Yeah.
It's so active. So kinetic believers give their attention to self-validating their unique lives every single day. And we do it by allowing our subconscious to saturate itself upon the imaginations of our personal desires, to penetrate our souls so that we never lose the vision of original self. Then from this space, we never lose our balance, no matter what storms may blow in. And now that we're moving toward what we're choosing to attract into our lives, we continue to speak victory only. It is imperative to our momentum that we never allow negative thought forms to be spoken by us. We're here to grow and to develop. So we only say whatever is good for the edification and for the celebration of ourselves and for all others, no matter what. I don't care what they do to you. It doesn't matter what they say to you. No one is worth getting you out of your purpose for life. Another way to receive what I'm saying here is this. Our words determine our destiny. Sounds pretty intense, doesn't it? Because it is. And it's creative truth. But by imitation and habit, most are careless with their words, thinking that what they say, well, it just really doesn't make a difference, whatever I say. because I know what's true, what I mean and what I don't mean. Look, maybe you already know how important your words are in your life, but you struggle to keep from speaking negatively about frustrating circumstances. All it takes is for your bus ride to be late, and you start complaining. Well, I can guarantee you that tomorrow the bus is going to be late again because of your complaining. No, as a kinetic believer, if this has been you, then look, today is the day to start choosing your words as if your life depends on it, because it does. You should write that down. What you say today is what you will have tomorrow. If you keep speaking the problem, you'll keep having the problem. Speak what you want, not what you have.
Yes. So, for example, what if someone is struggling with, say, paying their bills? Do they just stop speaking about the problem and then just start speaking what they want instead? Is it that simple?
Well, if you're in a tough situation with your finances, and if you've been speaking change over the problem when an unexpected bill arrives or another seeming setback shows up, resist the temptation to speak anything negative or contrary. Refuse to give creative space to the problem by entertaining the problem's thoughts. When you resist defining problems with your words, you see, you'll no longer attract those problems into your life. Answer every doubt immediately with what you imagine to see that is good. That's how we destroy the energetics of arguments and every negative thing that could form into our lives. We live powerfully, successfully by choosing the thoughts we will dwell upon that aligns with our highest viewpoints for manifestations. Look, if you put all these strategies, if you will, into your manifesting journal playbook and make them your new life game plan, then you're going to be on the way for your journey of victory in every single area of your life. Don't quit. Stand your ground. Focus on your best life and speak words of victory only, and you will absolutely see your life turn in a new direction toward everything that you could ever hope for or dream of.
You know, it's really dawning on me too. What you just took us through, it's really revealing that when we are sort of in that press, in that squeeze, in the high pressure moments where something negative is trying to come into our lives, that those are also the most vital times to speak the right thing and to not give our words and our power to the negative thing. So, you know, not all moments are necessarily created equal. So the pressure also creates more of just a bigger opportunity, I guess I'm trying to understand.
Yes, and and through all of this, we are redefining what it means to be successful.
Yes.
We're redefining it. We're changing our lens, our perspective for life.
Yeah.
And not living by what we see or feel or hear. We're living by our expectations and desires for happiness and joy and peace and love and abundance and all things.
What an exciting concept that prosperity and abundance, it's going to look different for everyone. You know, we don't all necessarily it's not like we're all going to be fulfilled by the McMansion with the exotic car, with the person that, it's not the same for everyone. It's different. But we were laughing earlier that, we had a really beautiful home out in Colorado that we loved, but it was so freaking huge and it was so annoying. I could never find you. It was, I would actually have to call your cell phone, like, Steve, which floor are you on? But I'm just saying, these experiences and revelation knowledge and understanding who we are, defining our genius of purpose, all of those things keep culminating into realizing who we are and what abundance even really means for us.
And the promise is, though, that whatever your heart's desire is, that is the very thing that you will be able to attract in your life.
What a
and
promise.
if it is the McMansion, if it is that, then that is absolutely what the law of attraction is going to attract in your life.
Yes.
And if it's not that, then it was never on the menu.
I love that. I never even thought about that. A menu. Isn't that it? It's almost like the universe is just constantly showing us this menu, and it's, we'll never lack for opportunity or possibility.
And you bring up a good point. You've got to spend time going back to the beginning, rewilding yourself to understand who you are, why you are here, what is your purpose in life. What moves you? What stirs your soul? Because that's the very thing that you're going to attract into your life on purpose using kinetic belief. Yeah. Michael Jordan said that, he said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. Wow. Take the chance. Show up. Believe for the best. Show up. Let's work on some highest viewpoint affirmations and put to bed the 4 steps to winning in our lives. And practice this. Get out your playbook and begin designing those steps for your day as it shows up tomorrow. Just say this out loud. Say, I have access to the wisdom.
I have access to the wisdom.
To make accurate decisions for myself.
To make accurate decisions for myself.
I have the creative ability.
I have the creative ability.
To attract all that I need.
To attract all that I need.
To make today a great day.
To make today a great day.
Things always work out for me.
Things always work out for me.
I am and always will be.
I am and always will be.
Excellent for anything I choose to show up for.
Excellent for anything that I choose to show up for.
I acknowledge my own self-value.
I acknowledge my own self-value.
My confidence is busting through the roof of my life.
My confidence is busting through the roof of my life.
I have no negative feelings about myself or my life.
I have no negative feelings about myself or my life.
About anybody else.
About anybody else.
And guess what?
And guess what?
All is well.
All is well.
I always attract only the best of circumstances.
I always attract only the best of circumstances.
And I attract the absolute best.
And I attract the absolute best.
Most positive people into my life.
Most positive people into my life.
I am courageous.
I'm courageous.
Because I'm free from fear.
And because I am free of fear.
I'm willing to act.
I'm willing to act.
Upon my beliefs.
Upon my beliefs.
I have unlimited power.
I have unlimited power.
I am a powerful creative creator.
I am a powerful creative creator.
I create the life I desire.
I create the life that I desire.
And I don't know about you.
And I don't know about you.
But I'm enjoying it.
But I'm enjoying this.
Every day I discover.
Every day I discover.
Exciting new paths.
Exciting new paths.
To observe and to travel.
To observe and to travel.
I trust in my highest intuition.
I trust in my highest intuition.
And I always attract wisdom for life.
And I always attract wisdom for life.
From my genius of purpose.
From my genius of purpose. Wow. What a fun podcast today. We went through so many different ideas and stories and analogies. It was so powerful, 4 steps to winning. And if you do want to check out the new e-course that Stephen has launched that is so powerful, so exciting, so much packed into just a few weeks, you can find that at StephenCanyon.com. And of course, the 100-day guided journal is there as well. And also the Genius of Purpose workbook. And I have to say, all of those digital products, they're so perfect for Christmas gifts right now, aren't they? Because I was just realizing I forgot to buy for all of these people, Steve. And so being able just to send a digital product is so exciting. Make sure you follow Stephen as well on Instagram at Stephen Canyon and check out the private Facebook group that is cranking and running full steam ahead.
Giving out a lot of love today. Yes. And sending out much appreciation and joy and delight. Everybody gets it all over the world. All you KB creatives, we'll see you again soon.
Thanks as usual, Steve, for all the wisdom.
Bye.